Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with a growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcasting, the home for indie podcasts and content creation.
I pray that my love for you is bigger than what my parents have.
So you must be my daughter's new friend?
Candy, let me ask you a question.
Oh, so this him? This the man that comforts you more than me?
Mama, all men ain't like daddy.
That's not fair!
Rise and grind, wanna show at 9:15 a.m. Monday through Friday, great conversation, guest appearances, 'cause you experience us on the cusp of blowing up. Boom. Wake up, wake up. Rise and grind, morning show.
Oh, yeah, I guess you won't know what we was talking about, but we'll say that for later. Because people get a little anal around here. Listen, today is kind of crazy. A friend of mine was supposed to pick up some flyers early in the morning. We left me sleep in the parking lot. Come to find out. So I called him numerous times. Then he called me back at 8:04 talking about, oh man, how you get this do not disturb off your phone? Nigga.
That's mighty funny because your ass had to do not disturb on your phone this morning. Nigga.
I have do not disturb on my phone all the time.
Nigga.
Quit using that word. It's a derogatory word.
Nigga.
It always be the lightest skinned people who just want to just take it there.
It only means ignorance, so ignorance don't have no color.
No, it do.
That part.
Did you know the word? Did you know what the word originally nice mean? Did you know that? You know the word nice originally mean? To be stupid or to be foolish.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, oh, you nice.
You a nice. Oh, you was a nice nigga. It wasn't an urban. That was etymology.
Just like when they used to say lady. Lady, they really calling you something else.
A whore. A lady of the night. A whore of the night.
Hardest.
Oh, you a nice lady, Kim. Listen, so anyway.
And you are too.
That's good with it.
You got to be quick with it.
Fuck you, girl. Bye. Listen, Rhea said watching on YouTube. That's what's up. But engaging on Facebook. Good morning, peeps. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you, Rhea. You are so nice. Shout out to Robert Real that comes on every Monday. 6 o'clock. Hey, Robert Real, yeah. G Baby. That damn baby right there, Rhea. And Dice. I think Dice is back on the show, right?
My homeboy, I love Dice. That is my homeboy. I've known Dice for 40 years.
Yeah, Dice cool as hell. He just remind me of, you got them golden sugar crisp. So listen.
Oh, you better leave my Dice bear alone. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, Dice cool.
I know.
Cool,
I know he cool.
Shout out to my barber.
Get beat up.
Shout out to my barber. He come through all the time.
Yeah, because you looking clean today.
I look clean every
No,
Monday,
not really,
Tuesday.
but yeah, you look.
Every Monday, Tuesday, my barber come through. Shout out to Marketing. Shani, I got good news and bad news for you for today for your show.
Okay, I want the bad first.
The bad, your host, the guest we originally had have to reschedule.
Okay.
But I'm your but I'm your guest for today.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm your guest for today.
The Miles Dixon Show.
No, it's actually
Dixon
Shannon Show. And she's going to interview me, and y'all might learn some things about me y'all might not know.
I think
You got a testimony?
I think it's.
Shit,
I
I
don't
got
really
plenty
think
of
it's anything that we don't know about him.
Oh, shit. Shady find out new shit all the time.
He's over here like, you don't know me.
Shady be finding out new shit all the time. She be like, Miles. But, hey. So, we got
I think it'll be an interesting show because
it's-
Miles really is an interesting individual. So yeah, that'll be dope.
Serious, he's a very smart individual.
When he's serious.
When I'm serious.
But how
Shit.
many percentage of the time is that?
That-
0.5? 0.002? Oh.
Point these in your foot in no ass. No.
God bless the child that has his own.
All right. Anyway, we got a guest. She ain't even.
Don't do comedy.
She ain't a special. Oh, that's a good one. Shout out to Omar. What is the Omar? That's the super. He's the lawyer for the people. We got a guest in the building today. She really ain't a guest. She become family. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jessie is here.
Jessie!
Good morning.
Jessie!
Glad to be back.
Jessie like a cute Cabbage Patch Kid. I always wanted to tell you that, but now I said it.
I love her glasses. I like the color. That just goes to show that she's very bold
bold
and charismatic.
Charismatic.
On the days that I don't feel like talking, it don't do me well. I be trying to mind my business. People be like, "Your glasses hot pink. You must be nice and friendly." I'm like, "Not today."
I am not Sally Jesse Raphael.
Sound like you got a smoker voice. I really want to talk with her.
Wow, that's how you gonna do me? Okay.
Wow, that's how you gonna do me. So, what's the good news for One Step Closer? She's interviewing me. You know what, Rhea? The hell with you. Block all of her. Block everything she's talking about.
We ain't doing that to Rhea. Hi, Rhea. Good hearing from you. That she is like one of our. She's a supporter across all of podcasting. So what's up, Rhea?
Yeah. Ever since she came into podcasting life, she has been definitely a helping hand.
Yeah.
And I love her when she wear those boots. I love a woman who can wear rocks and stilettos. Get the chivalry in my bones.
Everything on your bone.
You know what? I almost said something.
This coffee is so good. I got it from that diner downstairs. What's the name of that diner?
Meraki.
Y'all should come to the Crossroads and go to Meraki because I just had me some breakfast. My coffee is on point. And the girls down there are lit. I love them. So go on Instagram and you can follow them. Do that.
Well, December 13th, we got Pancakes and Podcasts down there. So,
and I just had some pancakes, y'all, and they are good.
Pancakes are good.
They banging.
December 13th is going down. Jessie, you just sent up there. Go ahead and talk with your voice again.
Don't do me like that.
She's like, really, when I don't want to talk on the voice.
It's because you be calling me at 4-5 a.m. and I'm like, why are you calling me so early?
I never called you.
Tell the truth.
It's not a wake time yet. Just because you wake up on 10. And what you doing? I was asleep. Can I help you?
First of all, I never called you at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's what it feel like.
Well,
That's good enough.
That's because your head heavy. Listen. Wow. So,
Wow.
Shout out to Morris Chestnut. He had 3 more kids.
What do you mean he had 3 more kids?
Oh, right here.
No.
I'm just spreading rumors.
I was gonna say no, he haven't because his wife Pam don't play that. They've been married. They have a good marriage. It's probably one of the marriages that we have never heard any bad things in Hollywood. So shout out to Boris and Pam
and Lorenz Tate, and LeBron. The only thing that cheated in LeBron's marriage was his hairline. It went back.
His hairline and his hair top.
There you go, Dorian. Dorian said she got a midnight. What Dorian say? She got a what? She got that midnight storm voice. Wake up everybody, y'all smoke a cigarette. Anyway, Rhea said share the live out and double tap the screen and send the stars to create all that matters. And it's appreciated. Oh, thank you, Rhea.
All right, thank you, Rhea.
Yeah.
Rhea.
Let's go to today's topic. Today's topic is simple as this. Is the new wave church overrated? The new way of church overrated. I think church is overrated, period. So don't get me started.
That's deep. All I know is I remember being a kid and church was not so complicated as it is now. I remember going to church. Mm-hmm. And we would go to church a lot, but I remember it being a warm place, a place of love, a place of family, a place where people came to worship. And, you know, I love eating at church. Them church dinners used to be busting. For real, they used to cook you a full course meal. You get there for first service, you have breakfast, you have lunch. They have revival, you have a dinner.
Sound like lunch.
Because they used to really just take care of the community and the people, and I think the church has really changed a lot. The only church that kind of reminds me of that'll feed you is Kinloch Church Triumph, because they will be like, if they fasting or something, they will give you some food. They'll be like, okay, this is what you need to eat, and they give you good food.
They need to give you the food or the payoff they get. Anyway, so
payola.
Let me quit.
No, let him quit. He's joking in the name of Jesus.
I'm not joking, but keep Jesus out of this.
No, but the church used to just be a place of community and a lot of things, and now it has turned into a lot of other things that I don't agree with.
What did Darnita?
I want to say,
hey, Sean.
Just a side, I'm going to let y'all go back, but shout out to Darnita Davis. I was riding in the car, and I heard you on the radio show. Shout out to Trapkino, and continue doing your thing. Okay.
Hey.
Trapkino. So, why you ain't joining in there?
Oh, I was going to let you say what you was going to say and then get in.
Too much your voice. We said Trapkino, you was Trapkino. That's what you said.
Ignore
Stop
him.
doing me like this.
Anyway, Jess, what do you think?
Besides Brittany.
So, I grew up Baptist. And I didn't realize that Baptist folks were supposed to be like the heathens of the Christians.
Yeah, you ain't know that?
I didn't until I got older and I started visiting other churches. I was clutching my pearls because I was like, I have to wear a skirt. Why? What are you doing? But growing up at church, grew up at church old school. My grandma, my granddaddy went to the same church their entire adulthoods. Grew up at the same church that my mom grew up at.
Oh, that's dope.
And we you get dressed to go to church. There was just one way to do church, right. And you go to your church, and that's what you do. It was tradition.
Did you drive across town to go to church, or was it nearby?
Absolutely not. Our church was a 5-minute drive from the house, and if you got left in the morning,
you better walk your ass there.
You better walk to church. My mama would drive back to the crib after Sunday school. If you hadn't walked there by the time Sunday school was over, she was coming home to beat your ASS, and you was still gonna finish getting dressed and come to church.
Wow, that's that real. They ain't play that.
Yeah. You know what? I love my church is right around the block.
Right now?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now it is. No, my church is not right around the block now. I go to City Praise. City Praise Church is on Inkster Road.
Now, I had a similar experience with my grandmother. My grandmother is 102. And they still go to the same church in Ohio. And our whole family, like you were saying, everybody went to Hozak. So
what's the name of the church?
Right. Well, they renamed it. It's called Hozak. That was the original name, but then they renamed it.
Ooh, I'm like, y'all know what a Hozak is?
Rebirth Resurrection Church on Hozak Street in Columbus, Ohio.
Shout out to Hozak.
Where the hoes at? No.
Hey, that's what I thought. The first thing I thought of.
Where the hoes at? No.
I go to that church.
But church has really changed. I used to really enjoy when I was a kid when we would have revivals and go to storefront churches because they weren't so big and they were just really intimate and people were just really there to praise the Lord.
Yeah, I agree. My church, Pastor Ford, I know he asked, how many visitors do we got? They raised their hand. He said, do me a favor. If you don't know anything about church, go to your church near your community because it works better when the church is filled with the community. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which I totally understood. Because I hate when I used to be at church and all the east side of people be in the church. I'd be like, y'all wish y'all ain't had no food.
They had no what?
Food.
Sometimes you prefer the leadership at another church. That's actually what made my change. I mean, the church that I go to, even when I changed states, I stayed at my same church. So where I used to go to a church 5 minutes from my house, where I grew up, My church is almost in Lansing. My church is in Grand Ledge. So I drive an hour and a half to get to church.
Well, whatever leadership you follow, tell them to
dedicated.
Tell them to run for mayor in Detroit. Because I'd be damned if I'm going to drive that far to go to church on for one day. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't do that every Sunday. Because, we got the virtual. So that's how when I move from state to state, I still keep up with the church leadership that I wanted to learn from.
So how do you guys feel about that, about the virtual?
That's about to ask you. Do you get dressed to go to virtual church?
I will say
from the top up.
It's a different experience because we're watching a stream. Now it's not like we getting on the Zoom, they can see me or anything like that. So if while I'm at home,
I know a lady would get dressed to go to stream church.
Well, it must make her feel better psychologically, like she's checking in, because if you in your pajamas, sometimes you can't get a little lax. You be sitting there like.
Yeah,
you be chilling, and you're not standing up to pray no more.
Her kids think she crazy because she be like, "Get out of my living room." and she be, you be sitting there. I came at the wrong time.
I think virtual church is good because during the worship portion of the service, you are more free because you're at home, you're in your own, environment, and you won't be judged. Like if you get a little excited and get to doing what you do to worship, I think it's good.
What if God just be swooping in everybody's household while they virtual? Like, something fishy about this.
You said what?
What if God be swooping? Right. What's God be swooping in your home service, right in your house? He be sitting right there, and you be sitting at the.
Said, growing up in church set the foundation of unity for me, but having my own relationship with God increased my understanding and desire to worship and praise the Lord, not the pastor. That's where the word. That's where the world gets it twisted, in my opinion.
Yeah. And you have to visit, well, in my opinion, you have to visit different churches, different denominations, listen to different spiritual leadership to even figure that out, I think, to get to that level. Yeah. Because, if you only go to one church your whole life, you're kind of pre-programmed to just, do those traditions, you just go by those beliefs because that's what you were taught. And you don't get any exposure to a difference in opinion or a difference in thought to even have a set of things to choose from. When you're only given one choice, that's what you do. And I kind of had to, I had that experience during undergrad where we had a praise choir that everybody came from different denominations. And so that's how I came to get a little deeper into learning about all of the different sets of doctrine. And what I came to find is a lot of people that don't like church, it's not that they don't like church, they don't like the man-made part of church, which is doctrine, which is, I'm Baptist, I'm Kojic, I'm Episcopalian, ASD, and all of this other stuff.
I'm a Episcopalian.
I think that's very important because I know for me, people have all these different labels and, this little twist, this little turn here. And like when my son was going to Catholic school, my mother had a fit because he wanted to get baptized in the Catholic church. And I told my mother, I said, as long as they ain't trying to baptize him in blood, leave him alone. It's still the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And that was his understanding that he wanted to get baptized. So if he wanted to get baptized, let him get baptized. That's his choice. And so he did. And she had a fit. And I was like, because my mother, we come from a holiness church. I was like, as long as wherever you go, if they're preaching about Jesus and teaching that, then leave him alone.
I never trust the Catholics, right? Because one time with the Catholic church, a little boy came from up under this guy's robe. Not too soon.
Boy, there. Well, where my son was, when he was going to school, it was a black pastor, and the church wasn't. It wasn't creepy. He was going to St. Cecilia, so yeah. He had
Dorian said, "Where does white supremacy and bigotry gets us indoctrinated and developed at church?"
That is a very pointed statement, but however, that there is a lot of truth in that, and that's where I'm like, you got to go to these different places so that you can. If you go to a church where you can't ask questions, don't go there. Yep, I said it. And I don't care what your pastor says. If you can't ask him a question, even if he don't know, if he can't go study to find out the answer, you need a new leader. And I said it. Don't care.
Yeah, because you have to. And then the other thing too is, people pick and choose what they want to pick and choose out of the Bible. They don't read the whole thing, and they take a lot of things out of context. So when you are saying, okay, the different people they're picking and choosing what they want to pick and choose out of the word and applying it the way that they want to apply it to life, and that's not always the right way for them to do things.
Something different about you, Cam. You wearing lip gloss?
And they got glitter in it.
I see. Yeah. Yep.
No, but I'm just saying, so people pick and choose. I don't think it's the church itself. It's the doctrine and people picking and choosing what out of the doctrine they want to utilize or put emphasis on. So that's why you need to know the word of God for yourself. You need to read the Bible for yourself. And that's why it says study so you can show yourself approved. You got to study it for yourself. Having a relationship is not about being churched. It's about having your own personal relationship with God, and that's a journey that you have to go on by yourself, for yourself. Yeah. And the pastor or the church is just there to try to point you in the right direction and give you some sort of support.
That's what Rhea was saying. However, what I don't agree with her is a pastor or a minister, whoever leading the church, should be able to give you guidance in the Bible. And learning the Bible is crazy because it took my pastor, Pastor Crawford, to break it down to where I was like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Before I'm just hearing and all the breathing. I did not like that.
Well, that's the reason why you need to go to Bible study. It's not just about you going to church and hearing what the pastor is telling you. You need to go to Bible study so that they can break down the Bible, and they break it down and without all the emotion, without all the a lot of times
they won't keep me.
When pastors are up there, they're performing because they're trying to get some of them trying to get the attention of the people and trying to do stuff in a creative way. I personally love this one pastor. His name is Charles Stanley. He's no longer with us, but he was a older Caucasian pastor, and when he teaches the word of God, because they still have his broadcast to come on, he just talks, and he does it in a practical way, and he applies it to life where you can understand.
This is my Bible. Ain't you talking about him? That's Joel Osteen.
No, that's Joel Osteen. I said Charles Stanley.
This is my Bible. Y'all know the rest.
Do you guys think that
ain't gonna join me?
And hollering more so from the pastors is real, or is it more so just because that's what I grew up on, Baptist church. I think maybe that is a far-fetched question and it could be harder to answer, but
I can see the difference between
it though.
Oh, I'm not a hooping and hollering person.
Got you. So you like to just stay talking.
Yeah, but I feel like there is a natural flow to when that crescendo in the sermon comes. Okay. And if you cut straight to the hooping and hollering, it's like, no, that was scripted right there. But the same way that we get excited when we're talking, we have different voice inflections, our voice rises, falls, all of that stuff. Sometimes there is a natural feeling that comes when a person is speaking. And then the other thing that this is me being judgy, I'll say that. I feel like sometimes that hooping and hollering is filler for you haven't studied well enough to
that's a good
teach
point.
What it is that you're teaching. And the reason why I say that, like some people, they're like, oh, well, you think that you know and I'm like, it's not that I think that I know everything. I study who I study under. And there's a reason why there are collegiate programs and different credentials for becoming a pastor, for being a church leader.
You're so educated. Go ahead. Talk your talk.
Look, it's real. What I had to discover for myself was some of these pastors that don't have the answers or do as I say without reason, I'm coming to find and looking into their credentials, they're a pastor because the Holy Spirit. How are you teaching somebody something? No one's child is being taught by a teacher without an education degree or a degree in a specific field. And so if your specific field is divinity, there should be some type of formalized education. Without that, you are like Cam said earlier, you're teaching Bible stories out of context. There is historical context to it. English is the newest language on the face of the earth. The Bible originally was written in Aramaic and Sumerian, and was translated multiple times before it got to English. Some of the words that were written originally, there is no English word translation. There is the best description of that. And when you're going back and forth with folks who they're like, no, it means this. Some folks are regurgitating what they heard a scripture means. They have not studied it from the etymology standpoint, nor have they studied it from a historical standpoint with what was happening in that city at that time. People don't even know that Ephesians was written to the Ephesians. All of those books that are right in a row, they were written to the people of those cities to address what was going on at that time. Those are Paul's letters.
That's right.
And as for us, how it pertains to today, it's an example of whatever. But sometimes people just they take everything out of context. But for me, we had Bible studies ever since I was a little kid, and my mother was not. She went to church. She went to Bible studies. She got educated in the church, but she taught us the Bible. We studied the Bible. She would ask us questions. She would ask us what we thought. So it wasn't like when we were being taught about God that everything was, this is the way it is, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be. She'd be like, well, what do you think? Well, how does this apply to you? How do you want to apply the word to your life? And I think that's what people need to do nowadays. You need to apply the word to your life, and you have to interpret it because it's your interpretation. The Bible gives us their interpretation, but it can sometimes take on a different meaning to you. That's why you're having your own personal relationship with God, because God speaks to all of us differently.
Yes. What did Rhea say, Shannon? Rhea said that everyone expressed praise differently. No one has an issue when we hoop and holler at a game or a concert, so why not get
hype for the Lord?
Well, hoop and hollering. Well, God and Jesus ain't going up and down the court shooting the ball, stuff like that. So that's why people hoop and holler at the game. I get that, but hoop and hollering for the Lord, I've seen people being hooting competition at church.
I called it acting a fool. Yeah. I ain't about to play with God. Good day.
Right, there you go. They be acting the fool in church, and I be sitting up there like, wow. It happened at the same time. You hear Sister Esther about to go right about go. And you be sitting there like, there she.
Whoa. One run and the next will start running. And then, honey, when they start jitting in church and doing their footwork and looking over each other, they be
having that competition.
My Lord better than yours. It'd be funny. And I'd be funny. I call that acting the fool too. Church to me is a foundation, but then it's up to an individual to apply it to their lives. That's the realest statement anyone can say about church. And on that note, we need to change the subject because it's over with. No, is the new way of church overrated? Yes, I think it is. I think a pastor having more than one church. If I figure if you have more than one church, that first church must be always put together. That first church must be healed. Because you just can't keep opening up stuff and the person ain't healed. Because the main church has got to be the example of you even want to stay where you at.
Because the church is a hospital, because there's a whole lot of wounded and broken people, and that's why people go to church.
Yeah, but if we go by that, the hospital keep you sick on purpose.
Some of them. Some of them. It wasn't created originally to keep people sick. It's just that now the world that we live in, because of big pharma,
capitalism.
It makes it.
So I do want. Go ahead. Which was that?
No, I just gonna have a question. Do you guys think it's healthy to switch or change or pivot from your childhood church home, the one that your parents kind of grew you up in?
Yeah, because if your parents fucked up, it's not a good example.
When you get older, or do you feel like it's a loyalty there to where you're like, hey, I'm not leaving my home church because there's so much rooted there?
I'm being honest with you. If your parents is jacked up still, It's not a good look. I mean, it'd be a plan.
But don't
like,
you go to church to continue to grow and get better?
Well, no. I mean, if the example is your parents or your family, and they still, here's what I learned about church. Mm-hmm. A church that grows is a church that I would want to be a part of. Mm-hmm. I ain't talking about growing by getting another building, but fixing the building that they were in, healing the people that was there. My godfather. He's that deacon. He be like, nah, I told you to go in that room, right? We're talking to the kids, right? I'm sorry, Papa Shaw. I'm my mom. He's all right now. When I come in there, I want to see you doing all right, right? You got so many people on the church hop, right? Mm-hmm. Because it be fads going on. I said fads, not facts. Okay.
Thank you.
So, but when you see a church and they're not growing, like they don't have programs for children, they don't have a school for children, that's a sign of you need to go somewhere else. Because if they ain't growing the children, they not teaching
the children are the future. You have
teach them well. You let them lead the way. Show them all the people that they possess inside.
What were you trying to say? I was gonna say before you leave, I would say at least give it a good effort, because like you said, the children are the future. As you're growing up in the church, you should be prepared to teach the people under you. Mm-hmm. And if you've given a good try, or you and your peers have given a good try at continuing on the growth at that church, and you've come to a standstill, at that point, then sure, I think it's okay to abandon ship.
Yeah, because your leadership ain't doing well. Like, shout out to Mr. Farrakhan. I'll never forget, I was in at Mosque number 1 on Wyoming. Farrakhan said like this: if y'all don't grow out of this small building, what are we doing this for? Because it don't make no sense. We supposed to be helping the people, and you only can fit the same amount of people in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had this building for 37 years. It's time to grow.
It is. And then also, things change, and it's like you should be able to be at a church where you can have conversations and question things, and when you have concerns, you need to talk about them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, you ain't got to be, sometimes that's what's wrong with the church. Everybody want to go whisper on the wind instead of going, instead of going to the person and having a conversation with them. Because I had some things that I didn't agree with at church, and I went to one of the older sisters in the church and had a conversation with her.
They're the worst.
And then we went, and she listened. She just sat there and listened while I talked to, like, my witness, while I talked to who I needed to talk to. But I just think that I have a problem with a church when you go to talk to somebody and they won't listen to you, and then they don't want you to question them. I have the right to question you and ask you whatever I want to ask you if it's a concern of mine. Mm-hmm. And so I think that it's very important that you are able to do that. And if you're not, then it is time to...
I agree. What I found was the mothers of the church, boy, they be gospeling more than anybody. They was the worst in my situation. Yeah. I was sitting there like, we just broke up a situation, and here they go in the kitchen. I don't know why they broke them up. They gonna be back fighting later on.
They said let them hoes fight.
Yeah. Basically, that's what she said, and all pastor gonna do is just go ahead and call that girl back up.
I just feel like
everybody looks like this, like.
Well, a lot of times, them old biddies, they be knowing all the business because people come to them in confidence, and instead of them keeping it confident, they gossip about it. But I think a lot of times that's why people get a lot of church hurt, because they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. But you have to put your faith in the Creator and not the creation. And so...
Go past
because what happens is you'll put all this faith in your pastor, and when he is... starts being the man that he is, and you see that he's flawed just like you are, and that he's not perfect, then you get upset and you're like, oh my God, I thought that but at the end of the day, you got to put your faith in God and not man.
That's
girl, you said I'm about to pause. You said a mouthful. Unpause. I'm saying, because
he got issues. No.
Rhea said the issue for me is that many people criticize the church or its leaders, but they provide no teaching or ideas of growth.
At some point, we must ask ourselves: are we a part of the ministry or the mess?
That's true.
Well,
The
question is, should the ministry even be laid on the land that it's on?
Should the what?
The ministry be laid on the land that is on. You can't tell somebody how to do some things, and this country was based off of nothing but rape, pilgrimage, death, stealing.
Crickets.
I know, right? Because I'm still processing what he said.
Yeah.
While that is true, I've always felt like we are aside and we're chosen. So just because that's how this country was made and that's still like the ideology being pushed to us, we historically have always been a communal people. We have not been a people synonymous with steal, kill, and destroy. When you look at it,
we not
that's
the people.
Hush, let her talk.
No, I'm listening.
Like that's the narrative that's being pushed now. That's all you see on the news, but who controls the news? And when you really look at it, I mean, we've always been a people who have been about one another, about community, about unity. And I mean, part of what this country was built on is built into the system to try to continue to divide us.
Yeah, but church don't put us together.
Some churches don't put it. Some churches don't put you together. But if you at the right place, it will put you together. Everybody needs to get out of their head. The church this, the church that.
No.
You haven't found where you need to be. You haven't found your tribe. And if you want to always keep complaining about the church, why don't you find a way to be a solution to the problem instead of just walking around complaining? Because at the end of the day, that's what it really all boils down to. It starts with you.
I totally agree, but it's not that somebody's complaining. The church is divided.
I understand that, but part of the division in the church is because of all the cackling, all the complaining, and all the whispers in the wind instead of people confronting and people. Everybody want to be offended. It's a book by John Bevere called The Bait of Satan that I taught when I was a leader in Bible study, and it is an excellent book because it talks about the offenses of the church, and I think a lot of people need to read that because people get offended over the smallest things and play things over and over in their minds, and then that's what causes gossip. That's what causes division and different things in the church. But
the problem is not the gossip.
Well, I was pertaining to that problem about it being the bait of Satan as far as division in the church, as far as that.
And every church don't need to be open. I'm gonna go ahead and just say that too. Just because you can open a church doesn't mean that you should. Just because your father was a pastor do not mean that you were called.
You better say it.
This why everybody don't want me at their church, because I'm gonna tell the truth. And then when the pastor be like, technically she's right, people be like,
Yeah, but no, you're absolutely right. That's what I'm saying about the divisions within the church, right? You know how many divisions of Christianity of churches it is?
Too many.
I stopped counting.
Over 1,300.
But you know what's crazy? But you know what's crazy?
And that's about control.
And I've been to churches all my life. But I say this, when I go, I ain't going because of the denomination. I'm going because I feel the presence of the Lord. Or I'm going because I want to fellowship because somebody invited me and we're trying to fellowship. We're fellowshipping together. So I never look at a denomination of the church because I've gone to Catholic churches. As long as they teaching the right doctrine, I'm there. So you have to learn how to chew up the hay and spit out the sticks. That's why you need to know the word for yourself.
Yeah, you've absolutely correct. But I don't like their music at Catholic church. I ain't going.
Well, I like the hymns because I think the hymns, like we have gotten into all this praise and worship music, which is cool, some of it to me, but it's something about them hymns that hit different. It's just something about them hymns that hit different when you listening to them words.
It hit real different when somebody know how to play a double pipe organ, but how many of those do we have left? All these good organs just sitting here without somebody to play them.
Yeah, You know why?
Because they ain't teach the kids. They didn't teach the children. They so busy trying to
molest them. Listen,
wow.
I'm sorry, we're talking Catholic Church.
Did you smoke?
No.
Right, when he gets smited, let me scoot over.
And God ain't gonna smite. If God smite me, my name gonna be Smith. We gonna go to a video, y'all. But Ursula did say many are called, but few are chosen. She's right.
Oh, I love Ursula. Hey, Ursula. Girl.
Ursula dope.
Such a nice lady.
You met her?
Yes, she is beautiful.
Where you meet her at?
Ursula, call in. I love you. I would love to hear you say something.
I was crying. She was like, "It's okay."
I know.
She's like, no, I'm fine. When Shanny says she's fine, she's not. Anyway.
Y'all probably two of the sweetest people, you and Ursula. If y'all was in the same room, be just nothing but hugs, love, and bubbles.
She's like, "I got some tissue. You got it. Release it."
No! See, Ursula, you changed lives. Go on, Ursula.
I don't think there should be women conferences. Because y'all be lying to each other. Come on, let's go to the first video. Let's go to our video.
The next generation of church looks very different than this generation as far as how we express our worship, over how things work as far as church goes. I think that is quickly changing. COVID hit, and 1/3 of all churches, number one, all churches shut down, and then 1/3 of all churches never reopened. 32% of the churches in the United States, a third. And that is a prophetic biblical term when you lose a third.
Really?
Yeah, because the devil, the devil took a third of the angels, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, COVID took a third of the church.
Wow.
I used to really be mad and upset at how that the church will not leave the four walls and get out and feed people and help people and love people. But I want to tell you what's even worse. When they're too scared to go within the four walls.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's a new low, brother. That's a whole new level of low.
Absolutely.
Like, wow, way to go, limp-wristed leader.
Well,
they look like they're straight from the Klan. No, he had a point. Point was made. But the whole thing is, I just got one question. Let's see, in theology, I'm just got a question. God created the angels. How did the devil was able to take 1/3? Next on pod.
God created the angels, but evidently the angels have free will as well.
No, they don't have free will. Read scripture.
Well, evidently they had some type of. Well, you know what? Some things are a mystery. We not God, and I'm not an angel, but it happened. So
that's
on.
Not being scared. That's using wisdom. That's not being scared. That's using wisdom. She's talking about that. Okay, but yeah, I always ask people like, how was there a war in heaven?
I feel like they had to have free will in order to be swayed.
That part.
Because if you think about it, and back to what I said earlier, when you have more than one option, you have the choices set out in front of you. You know what you're supposed to do. You know, the angels knew what God told them to do. They chose to be like, you know what? No, let's go over here with the music, man. Let's go to the club.
So why God?
That's a good analogy.
Good. That's
a wonderful analogy.
That was real cute if you was in 8th grade.
Ooh,
no, it's cute now.
No.
In this moment. So, boom.
No.
I believe that they did have free will. Nobody. The Bible never said that the angels didn't have free will.
Well, the jealousy of the devil of God saying that you gave them free will. Basically, he gave humans free will and not angels.
Well, at the end of the day, he rebelled because he had whatever in his spirit that made him rebel. So whether it was free will or whatever, he rebelled.
No,
because he had a jealous spirit because he wanted to be God and he couldn't.
Okay.
And that's, you know what? That's the same thing that's wrong in the church, and why it's 1,300 different denominations. Because everybody want to be in charge.
Everybody.
And people don't want to be in their place and operate in their gift. But I think also in addition to everybody wanting to be in charge, not wanting to operate in their gift, when you have denominations that if you don't speak in tongues, you ain't got the Holy Spirit. Everybody wasn't meant to speak in tongues.
They weren't.
Everybody was not meant to be the same.
Everybody wasn't
How are
born
you
with a tongue. Go ahead.
growing? How are you giving back to the community? Some of the things that he just talked about in the clip. How are you addressing things within the walls and going out into the world, spreading the gospel, doing what you need to do, feeding the community, helping the children, building up things around your church, building and the people around your church.
Helping the people in your church.
Right, that part. How are you doing that if everybody doing the exact same thing?
Exactly.
I totally agree.
That means you only reaching one type of people. You only addressing one issue. And that also means that you are teaching people to be deceptive. You are teaching people and indoctrinating them to live in something that is not their truth. You're going to have a variety of gifts, a variety of purposes, and you can't operate as a whole thing. We all know a dang on car not going to run without an engine. But it's also not going to run without the spark plugs, the fuses, one wire being out of place. Don't nobody care about that one wire.
That's why it's called
until
the
car
body
broke.
of Christ. That's why it's the body, because everybody have a different function. And they need to function together, but they so busy trying. Everybody want to be the head. Everybody can't be the head. Somebody got to be the hand. Somebody got to be the feet. We all got to be different parts of the body. Not everybody can't be the head. It can only be, a few leaders, not just,
And Ursula, she just took it off the screen, but Ursula just said there needs to be an interpreter.
Yes.
Just like you said, everybody
does.
can't be the head. A head has 2 eyes, 1 mouth, a nose, and 2 ears, and a mind attached to it.
Right.
No, if somebody's supposed to be speaking in tongues, that means other people are supposed to be hearing.
Yes.
But if there's no interpreter, what is it that you're hearing?
Yeah.
You hearing somebody just
Babble.
Gibber.
You can go in any shop that you want to in France. If you speak in Brazilian Portuguese, they're going to look at you. And it's not coming across. You're not getting your order, you're not getting your food, you're not getting no help until you speak in a language or somebody translates for you what it is that you're trying to get across and what the message is.
And that's why, like you said, people need to operate in their gifts, and it's the fivefold ministry. And that is so true. But my grandmother is 102 years old. She is a woman of God. She does not speak in tongues. But you can't tell me she not saved.
That part.
Because she taught us all about the Lord, all about the Bible, and they have for generations in our family. And they didn't believe in that until my mother got saved. And she got that gift, but she don't look down on her mother, and they don't nobody look at her as strange. They understand that it's different gifts. And I think that needs to be taught in the church too, about the spiritual gifts, so that people can operate in their gifts instead of running from them, because nobody wants to acknowledge that they are gifts, because some people don't understand and they're so small-minded, even though they're in the body of Christ.
That is very true.
Very true. Well, there are preaching here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This morning, these lovely ladies has been bringing the Lord closer into this wall, these 4 walls. And as I look upon these women, I pray that they are covered.
Need you to cover me.
Sing that song. We're about to go to a video right now. We'll be right back. Y'all watching the Rise and Ground Morning Show with Cam and D-Voiced.
And Jess.
Jesse.
And Shan. Cam, Jess, and Shan.
Jess and Shan.
Unpopular take.
When the children fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Not when the family feud, when the children of God fight.
When the grandfathers are fighting. But you see, like, in terms of timing, did you see the Marvin Winans?
I did.
Asking, the context was missing, period.
Yeah.
And after the context, some people still felt the kind of way, but asking for money.
Right.
In a specific way. A few days later, I see Jamal Bryant, clip goes viral about him not asking for money.
Mm-hmm. Strategic.
I said,
And then I seen Tyler Perry gave Winan 100,000.
I won't accuse it of being a response, but I thought the timing was.
It was calculated, for sure.
And even if it was, I don't know that he had somebody clip it up and put it out there like, boom, look at that, it's an opportunity. But it's social media conflates things, and it confuses the audience and the body to all be operating from one book. There's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much
confusion,
and this air of, if it's not doing it the way we doing it,
it's not right.
Y'all are the lost.
You're the lost ones. That's a very difficult one right there, concerning believers, wheat and tear. Because we're at a place where I think a lot of the Black community is tired of the church.
I got something. Well, I got something to say. I believe that the whole Tyler Perry thing was a ploy, right? And the reason I say that because they use what others use in media, distraction.
Mm-hmm.
They do it a lot in these conferences we have been to when they be trying to sell us something. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, then you see a person like, I buy it, you know what I mean? It calls them thing, what you call a windmill effect or whatever. Tyler said, they just said Tyler gave him $100,000. Tyler probably said, you know how we gonna get these people off of you for a minute? Put them on me. You feel me? I be the bad guy. I'm used to being the bad guy. No one know if he got that money?
That's just what they said.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's a ploy. And people do it all the time. I done watch people, I just sit in a room with a person just all of a sudden he made $100,000 because one person said, I buy that program for $7,500. You know what I mean? The other people start buying it and then they shaking hands behind the curtain like, thanks. Mm-hmm. Because it only take one to start the ripple effect. I said windmill effect. The ripple effect. And then they shaking hands and I asked him, hey, Will, what's up? And he said, man, I didn't buy that program. You know what I mean? I don't need that program. I did it to start people to buy. And that's why I think the media do too, to throw us off there and say, well, this happened. And then everybody on that. Nobody even, whenever Trump say something, y'all worry about what he's saying. Y'all ain't even thinking about what the government is really doing.
Because it's a distraction.
So, yeah. I don't, and I think what he said about the black community, black people is tired of being so false prophecy.
That part. And I think tired of being controlled.
Yes.
I wasn't surprised when they had that whole lock the people in the church thing. That's happened to me before. But I could tell as soon as we walked into that church, I told the choir leader, I said, something feel funny. We shouldn't be up in here. And sure enough, after we sang, we did what we were supposed to do. Didn't get paid the money that they promised to donate to the choir so that we could travel and do things around the state. They locked us in there and said, give us some more money. I just sat there and I said, told y'all. Then somebody got sick. They said, that's fine. We still not opening the door. And I was like, I guess we'll be sitting here. And I was like, if she pass out, call 911. Let it be what it's going to be. And, I mean, that hadn't been the first or the last time that I was in a crazy situation in church. And I think that depending on your expectations and then also your level of emotional intelligence, some people just will or won't be complacent with some of the crazy stuff that happens inside of the church walls. And that's why so many people they're setting a boundary for themselves. Yeah. They're leaving.
Totally agree.
They're going to other churches. They're not going to church at all. They're only participating virtually. They're following people who the traditional churches like, the same way they did Kirk Franklin, that couldn't possibly be Jesus. But if you keep doing what you're doing, after a while, now he's widely accepted, and we acting like when I was a kid, that man wasn't ostracized for what he was doing.
Yeah.
We was bumping that CD on a regular. He's not doing nothing different than what he been doing.
And I knew it was something different about him when it was in the titty bar. They're playing Stomp in the titty bar. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's the lines have really truly been blurred as far as a lot of things. It's just a lot of blurred lines when it comes to the church.
So this is when people say church hurt, or actually it be people's hurt. You know what I mean? Because they put their faith in the person.
Amen.
And a person who put their faith in another person, I don't think they kind of smart. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'd be
it's not that. It's just that when you look at people in leadership, you hold them at a higher what's the word?
Regard.
A higher regard. So then when they disappoint you, then your whole world starts crumbling down around you, because it's like, but you're supposed to be a man of God. So he is man, keyword man. And we have to stop letting these men make us look at God differently, because God didn't do it to you. A man did. So, we got to be really careful with that and stop praising the man. My pastor, he got a Bentley, he got this, he got that. Okay, he got. You don't got. At what point, Caller.
Good morning to church folk. How y'all doing?
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, y'all all right? Y'all all right out there? We all family. We can talk, right?
Yes, let's talk.
I don't have no skin in any church. I am a spirit with a body. Okay? Humans, unfortunately, are savage creatures. And some time ago, not even gonna put a date on it, somebody decided that we have to have for us to control these savage beasts. So we won't be murdering and plundering and raping. We decided to come up with a thing called religion, and we're gonna worry about an imaginary guy in the sky, and we're gonna put it in several different doctrines. We're gonna leave all this information, and it's almost like a Who's Clues, a Blue's Clues, a Star Wars, all mixed up, whatever you want to have it, Marvel conversation. And we're going to do this for centuries, and we're going to divide people, but we're going to control them. That is what church really, truly is. And now it has, because we have so much information, so much time, so many different examples of what being a true religious zealot can lead you to, and what you have is that you have a lot of the younger people who are checking out. They already see what the real issue is. That, like I said in the comment before, 503C racketeering. We're going to lock you in the church. We're going to put a specific amount, and if you don't have the amount, we're going to embarrass you. We're going to basically shun you. You have religions, okay, you married up outside your religion, the whole family is going to shun you. This is what religion that y'all really love. I'm a heretic. I'm not even a heathen. I'm a heretic. My mother and aunts were super in the church. Me, I saw right through that facade. I don't like to be controlled. Humans don't really like to be controlled. But if, like Miles had just mentioned, I have a issue with human beings that feel like they need leaders. Someone, when you put something on a pedestal, and it's actually an example from one of those good stories with Moses, because people was always worshiping idolatry, all this idolatry. We would worship a golden stone. We will worship this person because they spoke this way. This is the problem with humans, and this is where we're at now in society. Because if you look at what's going on in the world, all the wars, if it's not even about resources, is about the other R word, religion. I'll leave y'all with that.
I think the caller brought up a very good point about the overarching problem within church. Right behind control is that humiliation factor. And that is used to control people from so many other factors, not just to indoctrinate them with religion, but also the threat of public humiliation, the threat of being ostracized from your own family, from being I forgot what the word is when they kick you out your family, but the threat of being kicked out of the church, of being kicked out of the sometimes the entire community. The community, like the doctrine. You don't just get kicked out of the one Kojic church, you get kicked out of all of them. And you can't come
excommunicated.
Yeah, there you go, excommunicated from an entire group of churches. And if that's the only thing you've ever known, that could be terrifying. If you aren't an adventurer or have an adventurous spirit, if you aren't someone who wants to explore, get out there in the world, that brings me to a point that I was thinking of earlier, where from that humiliation factor, a lot of times when people are attracted to or go to church, you brought up the analogy of the church being a hospital earlier. People are coming to church when they're broken. That's often a gateway for getting them in. When someone is already broken or already going through a hard time, which we never know what that hard time is. It could be a person dealing with financial issues. They could be dealing with self-esteem issues. Someone could have been essayed or raped. You never know what the issue is that they are bringing with them when they come in, and they're looking for that spiritual help. There was a time in my life where I literally didn't have nothing but the clothes on my back. The only reason why I had a place to live was because my mama told me you can always come home.
Right.
And when I got back, what did I do? I went to the church that I was a part of. I had a guest pastor in there. And he brought his part of the little church. They was some of them hooping and hollering, them acting a fool kind of people. Now I said, I don't play with God. I don't care. When I tell you everybody in that church was bucking, screaming, hollering, spitting, I said, we ain't even done nothing yet. I didn't feel the spirit, so I sat there and I minded my business. I let folks do what they was gonna do. I listened to the sermon. The word was actually good. I nodded my head in agreement. I clapped a couple of times when I felt like it. And he thought that it was a good idea at the end of that sermon because I didn't react the way he wanted me to. He put me on spot. And he said, you sitting here with your hair all done, you all dressed up with your designer bag, and you haven't said nothing this whole sermon, like the word wasn't good, like God isn't good. My pastor looked straight at me. The assistant pastor looked at him, and he looked at me. He was on the edge of his seat because they used to call me Hell on Wheels. Because you already know what I could say, and you know doggone well what I should say to this pastor and in front of his whole congregation. Mm-hmm. But in that moment, even though I was hurting, and literally they had called me and said, hey, we have a guest pastor, can you dress up? We know that you have clothes left. We know that you don't have to look like your circumstance because that's what your mama taught you. We know that you're going to put yourself together and come in here. Because the week before, I came as I was. My hair wasn't combed. I had on a hoodie and some joggers because they said, just make sure that you come. But somebody else, another leader, was allowed to come into our church and publicly humiliate me, not just in front of my church family, but in front of his own. And I said, you know what? Since you asked the question, but won't give me the mic so I can answer you on it, I made sure that I projected my voice and I sat up just as straight as I could with nothing left. You asking me why I didn't give a tithe? Because my account is negative $200. Yeah. You worried about my designer purse and how I look nice? My mama bought me this wig so I wouldn't have to look a mess when I came to church. I dressed up in the clothes that I had left. I didn't buck around and holler, scream, and cry because I don't have nothing left, literally. My mama gave me a place to stay, and luckily my car is paid off, else I'd be living in it. Mm-hmm. And you want to embarrass me in front of this church full of people. And I could tell when I went on ahead and told the truth, he was embarrassed and felt a certain type of way. But if that's how you treat people when they are in need, I was just a person that decided to speak up for myself because I knew that there were other women in that church that they looked up to me, and even in my broken space, I'm like, dang, I can't let this happen because if I don't say nothing, if this had happened to one of my other ladies from the church that I was a part of, they would have never came back knowing that they needed to be there. Yes. So when people are explaining their church hurt and they like, I don't want to go back, I could definitely understand why they wouldn't go back. Yeah. Because I had to talk with my leaders afterwards and they was like, you know, we know how you could have been. That's your growth showing through. But I also told them, you do realize if this was somebody else and you let that happen to me. You did. And because you should have stopped them cold in his tracks. They didn't speak up for me because they knew that I would either speak up for myself or I was going to slap the taste out that man's mouth. That's why my assistant pastor was sitting on the edge of his seat because he was like, you saw I was ready to run. Yes, I did, sir. I saw you was ready to run because you know what I should have done to him. And he was like, yeah, I just didn't know which way it was going to fall. But when people like experience stuff like that and don't want to go back, I don't blame them one bit. And I don't say that it's because they don't like God or because they're evil or because they're whatever. You're not about to sit up here and keep petting the same dog that's just done mangled your hand. You're not going to go back to it and try to feed it. Yeah. You're not going to try to take care of it, cultivate it. You're not going to trust it no more. Right. And it happens so often in the church to so many people. And people just need to stop being so judgy because he had no idea what you're going through. The Bible tells us we're supposed to love. You're supposed to lead with love. And that was not love. That was his ego getting bruised because he saw you looking sharp with a nice purse and you together and he like, well, I know she got some money in that bag when he had no clue. It's a lot of people that they be the sharpest people on the planet and ain't got a dang on dime. That part. And then the person who's in the back row with a hoodie on looking crazy, they got a pocket full of money. Because Miles be there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but we need to stop looking at the outward appearance. And just love people in their heart. I mean, I was just using that as an example, but I don't like that. I think that people, you're supposed to come as you are. However that is, just come. I don't think the Bible meant as you was dressed. I really don't think that. I think the Bible meant come as you are. We don't care if you got one leg, if you broken, whatever it is, you be broken. You come. You come as you are, so that you can't get what you going off while we were here.
Okay. Don't worry about mine.
You don't worry about mine. But I'm just saying, and I don't like that. I remember I was online in a Bible study that I didn't go back to because I had to tell the lady. She was like, my niece, she has a fiance and they're on Facebook and they are traveling. They're doing all this, that, and the third. And every time I look on there, they going somewhere, they buying something and they're living together and blah, blah, blah. And she was just going in. So I let her finish talking and her niece wasn't on there. And I let her finish talking and I said, when's the last time that you invited her over to dinner? When's the last time that you talked to her? When's the last time that you had any interaction with her, period? And she got quiet. I said, if you want to have a talk with your niece about how she's living her life, what about just have her over for dinner? What about open up the line of communication so that you can have that conversation? Because you don't have the right to call her, invite her over to your home, and then just start judging her, because if that's the case, she ain't gonna never talk to you again. And you need to leave her alone, let her be in the space that she is, and however, love her through it. You are older, you are married with a husband, guide her through it if she wants to be accepting of your guidance. But don't be hating on her and leave her alone.
Because maybe she don't want a husband like yours.
Maybe she don't.
Shoot, let her alone. Let her do it.
And maybe she trying to, and her living with him, she got to figure that out. That ain't for you to judge.
Yeah.
That's for her to figure it out on her own. And it says work out your own salvation through fear and trembling, not for your auntie, your mother, your cousin to work out your salvation for you.
That's
period.
Nice. And with that whole living situation thing, y'all, please stop. The Bible did not say don't shack up. The Bible say don't fornicate. And because y'all won't build no doggone discipline, no discipline over your drawers and your parts is why we done came up with this, it ain't no shacking. Because y'all can't lay in the same bed next to each other without rubbing your body parts together.
But the bottom line is, you don't know what's going on in that household.
I mean, it ain't but ain't nothing wrong with rubbing body parts.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, let's be realistic. Half of the church is based off of them kids that didn't belong here.
Okay, touche.
And let's be truthful. The reason why church is overrated because everything the church said they don't accept, they do.
Because they doing it behind closed doors.
And in front of you, because the choir directors they sissies. You know they gay.
Some.
Majority.
Yeah, some, not all.
Majority.
And I got a problem with that too. Yeah. My problem with that is, and I done got kicked out of so many churches for saying so much stuff that I'm like, no, this is the truth. And if I'm gonna hold you to the standard that you set, how is it not okay for gay people to be in church, but it's okay for them to be a choir director? If you are coming as you are and every sinner is welcome, and this is the exact statement that got kicked me up out of there. So we kicking out the gay people, but we letting the hoes up in here? And they was like, just to get, and I'm like, why I can't ask the questions that need to be asked? You're trying to kick people out the choir for being gay, but it's two people in here that they was, and I told on myself too. Because I had a man at the time, I'm like, I was fornicating yesterday, and y'all know I cuss anytime my doggone well please, and I be drinking. And we know that we ain't supposed to be drunk. The Bible didn't say don't drink. The Bible said don't be a drunkard. Sure but I was definitely at that club celebrating Jesus' first miracle when he turned that water into that Hennessy and some Ciroc.
No, it was wine.
Well, nowadays
why
it's
you think
Hennessy
we
and
love
Ciroc.
being at the club? Yeah. I said I was going to rewrite the whole Bible. New Jesse version. James wrote his version. We just been using it since the 1400s. We going to use my version so people will come back to church. Now, I don't know who's going to lead it, but they can read my version of the Bible. You get your story.
Nah, Jesse, as you've been kicked out of many churches, I ask you that you leave this one. No,
I just think that, you got to just stop judging people. But then people need to vet people as well, because I know for a fact it's just weird because, all people who are gay are not, they gay. That's just what they are. But some of them are predators, because I've heard stories, about the choir director that start messing with the kids. So it's just like, just You just gotta know people's spirit. And
that what?
That deacon that he's straight and he always behind somebody's daughter. He need to get out too. Then that's what I mean. And across the board.
Wait a minute, and that deacon is behind little boys. So it's all over the place. It's just that we just need to figure out if it's even possible. Just to vet people for their character.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Their character, because it doesn't mean. Because I had a cousin. He's no longer with us. God rest his soul. He was gay. I love my cousin. He was with us. He was a wonderful person. I mean, he liked what he liked, but shut up. He got SA'd when he was a teenager by one of his friends' fathers, and we never knew what happened until he got grown and some things transpired. So my thing is, you just don't ever know what happens to people and why they end up, the way that they do. So even with that, we just need to love people for who they are and where they at, and just try to help them.
Yeah, and worry about cultivating the safe space.
Yeah,
making churches safe spaces again, all the way around.
Agree.
Not just from the church hurt, the humiliation, the shaming, and all of that other
everything.
Stuff. It needs to be a place of growth, learning, and cultivation.
And healing.
Yes, and healing. All of those things, I don't think that healing can truly be possible without all of those other things being present.
Ooh.
Because
they all go together hand in hand.
Yeah.
And you have to be open and loving in order for people to feel safe enough to talk to you, to let you know what's going on with them, so that they can. We need more counselors in the church. We need more people who can talk to people without being super religious, but just talk to them from a real standpoint. I know you got hurt. I know you've been through this. Yes, Jesus heals, Jesus saves, but this is the practical way, the steps. Let me help you. Let me guide you through this, because a prayer just ain't gonna make it. After you pray, okay, we broke the chains. Hallelujah. Now let me help guide you through this practical thing as to how to continue to be healed, how to continue to walk in your healing.
I agree. I definitely agree. And I agree on the time, because it's 11 o'clock. But we're going to go to a video right quick. We'll be right back. Check out this video. We'll be right back, because we got to see what these people are saying. But you did say your cut.
Okay, please don't take this the wrong way. Just hear me out. I'm just thinking out loud, talking out loud, and I just need somebody to hear me out. So don't come for me. I'm going to tread lightly around this conversation, because I truly am not meaning any harm. But the one thing that I've never really agreed with or set right with me when it comes to churches is the amount of time and the amount of money that goes into it from an individual. Because it's like you give your tithe and your offerings on Sunday, right? And you spend a lot of time there on Sunday. And I know somebody would be like, that's a great place to spend all your time. I understand, and I can agree with you. My thing is, when churches do stuff outside of Sunday as well, and they do stuff on Saturday, you got Bible study Wednesday, you got something going on Tuesday, I think that's when it's like, I don't know, and then not only that, some of these things that the churches are doing like require money, you know what I mean? So they're like, oh, there's some big event going on Friday night at the church, and it's $50 to reserve your spot. And I'm like, $50? I'm not trying to sound ungrateful with the money that God has blessed me with, but it's like, I got to give you $50 on Friday, spend 2-3 hours here on Friday after I just got done working. And then I got church on Sunday, then I got to give my tithe and offerings on Sunday and spend my time on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to, it's hard to not talk about this subject without sounding weird. And a part of me is also like, when they doing these events and they're like, oh, the event costs $50 to reserve your spot. I'm like, bro, you just got all this tithe and offerings. You know what I mean? Shouldn't it be free, or maybe not $50? You know, the church is tax exempt. It's private funded. It ain't really, you get what I'm saying? I feel like where's the give back? You know what I mean? Like, why does everything is like, it feels like it's taking from individuals versus, I don't know, I ain't trying to get too deep. Because I grew up a church boy, right? Still a church boy. So I already kind of know the rebuttals. Like it's God's money, so it's a great investment. You know, spending time with God. You know, when you're going to these different events, you're spending long hours there, long hours at church. You're surrounding yourself with like people. You know what I mean? You're not in these worldly different places. I don't really go out anyway, but you get what I'm saying. When you're in these places, you're around people that you should be around. But I think it just comes to a point where I'm like, Sundays is ours. I have a kid as well. You know what I mean? So I can't do stuff like that. So sometimes I'm like, why y'all trying to make me feel bad that I don't want to do Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday? Why do y'all trying to make me feel bad, bro? Like sometimes I just want to chill at home. Sometimes I'll
say this. One thing I did like about my church was they had so many programs as far as children's ministry. So like when the kids, you did bring your child to church, they can go to the children's ministry and, you know, they be with their friends. They do Bible stuff, but they have fun. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that I like was they have events and stuff at the church, but everything did not cost. Everything was like family orientated. So like when Halloween come, they're going to have a hayride. They're going to have this, that, and the third on the grounds. It's free. Everybody come for free. You can bring your friends, your family, outsiders, do that. Going inside during the hayride, have cider and donuts, and the way that church was set up, they had so many events that were free for the families. And then like if you were single, they had things for the singles that didn't cost anything. So I just think, like you were saying, Miles, earlier, the church just needs to be all encompassing. Everything does not have to cost. Like now they're having the Christmas program this month. That Christmas program costs $125, a whole lot of money. They give it out for free. You're going to see a whole Broadway show like at the Fisher Theater for 3 hours for free. They give it out for free for ministry purposes, and you know, so that people can bring their families, so that if they can't afford to go take their children or different people places, they can bring them to the church and watch this for free and fellowship with the people. So I think that a lot of churches are missing the mark by charging all this money for stuff, for things that should be free. You should only have to pay your tithes and offering if that's what you decide to pay. And that's a choice as well, because your tithes can be your time. It can be you volunteering. It can be you blessing somebody. There you go. I can bless somebody and nobody even has to know it, but it's not associated with the church, but God knows what I'm doing.
Praise Him.
So sometimes your tithes is you spending time taking your mother to the store, helping that old lady across the street. If you cook some food, giving your neighbor some food. It's a whole lot of ways to tithes other than giving money in just the church.
I help you across the street, Cam. Listen, thank y'all for watching the Rise and Grind Morning Show. It's 11 o'clock, y'all. We about to get out of here. Thank you, Shani, for putting together a good show today.
Thanks, Jess.
Thank you, Jesse, for coming by.
I love you.
Yes. I just want to tell everybody, this is the time of the year where family is important, but we are important all year round. But family, a lot of people losing family this time of the year. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of people. October, November, and December be the worst time of the year for me. I'm not gonna lie. I lose more people in them 3 months than I lose for the whole year. And so I just want to tell everybody, steadfast and be cool. If you have a friend you need to talk to them. Pull people together and get your circle together. No, get your square together. I believe in squares. I don't believe in circles. So get your square together. All right? All right, we're about to get out of here. Thank you very much. Peace, love, happiness.
Bye. Be safe, y'all.
Rise and grind. Morning show at 9:15 a.m. Monday through Friday. Great conversation, guest appearances. 'Cause you